there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my Resident Evil 0 S rank, hard difficulty, no healing walkthrough. I'm almost certain I've said that several different ways through each of these videos, but it's cool, you get the idea of what we're doing here. The door that I just hit then is accessed via using the other levels of the elevator and coming back on yourself. It enables you to backtrack from later areas of the game. Very useful, but you're not going to see me use it. Additionally, this is the shortest area of the game, the factory, if you do it like I do it, which is to skip a lot of the areas and to get to the boss and things. So there's the map, just in case. I like to pick the maps up on the areas that I'm not that familiar with. This is an area that I know exactly where to go to beat it, but I don't really know everything you can get from it, which is the reason why you're going to see me completely not get the Magnum rounds from one of the floors, which would have really helped, but at the time I didn't know, and the good news is I didn't need them. However, every little helps, and perhaps if I'd have had them, it would have made a certain area go a little better or a little smoother, and we would have been okay. But isn't it strange that that elevator there doesn't do the cutscene and it allows the camera to just swap between those two positions? I can't think of any other areas that have done that except for maybe the crank room. But this is the room with the hunters. So once you pick up this key, as we make our way back towards that door, there's going to be two hunters that spawn. The first one will almost always taunt. So get past him as he taunts. This guy will always swipe, so bait the swipe and get past him. Depending what he does after the swipe will depend on whether or not he lets you through. That was a really good example of getting past his swipe. And I did have times where he hit me, or where he did something different, or where he fenced me in, but it was only a handful of moments where it was quite awkward. I do think that out of all the sequences where we do that to hunters, that's one of the simpler areas. And the good news is, you're going to be getting to the next area of the game quite quickly, as long as you're good at fighting the tyrant, so that you don't really have to make any other saves, you don't have to waste any of your ribbons. But I think I'm going to pick up the pistol bullets, I'm going to try, but I'm not having any luck with the detection. I think picking up stuff on this game is a little bit too difficult. I think it's way too easy to examine miscellaneous bullshit that I don't want to examine, and it's a little too challenging at times to pick up stuff I want to pick up, and in a game where picking things up is so vital, it does seem kind of baffling that it does it that way. But it affords a very specific technique that I don't know if I've expressed yet, which was explained to me by a great Resident Evil player by the name of Furry Wolf. And the technique is, if you think you're about to get hit by something, for instance a leech man, or maybe a hunter's jumping at you and you can't dodge it in time, if you drop an item from your menu, and then as you unpause, if you bash the button to pick it up and you successfully pick it up, you will be invincible as you kneel down. And what happens when you get that menu coming up showing you what the item is you've dropped, the moment you press yes to that menu and it gives you control of the game, you are fully stood up and you are moving. There's no delay, there's no animation, you just instantly cancel into a running animation. So you can use it to get the hell out of dodge, and it can be a really cool tip if you want to use it. You're not going to see me do it, but I appreciate it is a great move. But this is Proto Tyrant, so at the beginning you can generally get 5 shots off at him before he turns around and swings at you. So dodge his swing and then just shoot him more, and that's how you'll do it. But if you want to do it another way, just hit him a few times with any gun you want to use, or maybe the knife, and then wait for him to jump, and then run around the weaker hand on his body, which is always his left hand side, but the camera's going to shift, so it's going to make it appear different. And just wait for him to kind of crouch down. The moment he crouches, run towards him, favouring his weaker side, and you'll dodge him almost every single time. The only time it fucks up is if his tracking kind of cheeses you a little, or as if you don't move correctly, or if the camera switches and it affects your movement. If you can get good at that area, you can embarrass that boss, and I didn't really do that there, I just got rid of him. But you can save so much ammo if you're willing to take a few resets to get that pattern down and maybe kill him with a pistol. But as you saw, I didn't have any other weapons for Rebecca really, so that's the way it went down. But thank you for watching guys, and you take care now.